Okay. All right, guys. How you doing? My name is Eric Greenstein with SoFlo Real Estate Investors. Thank you for joining our April update for 2021. We definitely missed a couple of months. That's on me. No really excuse there. But we're gonna hop back in, and today what I would like to do is just kind of treat this as like you're sitting at a table, like a round table, and I want everyone to introduce themselves and talk about themselves and where you're at and what your goals are, etc. So whoever wants to start first, I'll go last, but whoever wants to start first, feel free. If not, I'll pick on someone.
Well, I don't mind to go first. I think you guys already know each other for the most part. I think this is my first time here. My name is Ryan. I live down on the south side of Miami in Cutler Bay. My W-2 income, I'm an air traffic controller. I've always known I wanted to be in real estate. I did purchase my first property about 7 years ago in my same neighborhood. Things were easy then. You could pretty much buy a property, even in South Florida, with those numbers. I still own that property today. Last year, well, let me back up. Been a big Dave Ramsey follower since I was for about 15 years now. So I've created a pretty good, solid foundation based off his principles, but knew I was going to have to adjust those principles once I made it past step 6 or 7 on his plan. So last year, life was good, except for the pandemic. So I was ready to start investing in real estate, and of course, the world got upturned. So it worked out for my personal life. The best thing I could get done, I ended up purchasing some properties in Memphis, Tennessee through a turnkey provider. Researched about 15 different providers around the nation, and made some purchases, and kind of set up right now. I'd like to do some BRRRRs, maybe even some more turnkeys, and going from there. Of course, I'd love to be local and do some work. I have a pretty good network of people in my local area, people I can get stuff done. Most of my contractors do work with me instead of just hiring them out. I got some hiccups with certain things for certain properties and stuff I still got to figure out how to overcome. Yeah, that's about it for me.
Awesome. Well, welcome, and thank you for joining today. And I'm happy that we connected through Steve's mastermind. When you said you were from Miami, I like jumped out of my seat because like no one else is from there. So again, thank you for joining. Appreciate it, man.
Well, I'll go ahead since I'm the other first timer. I'm Doug Chevelle. I know Eric through another networking group that he and I are part of. I am a commercial realtor who used to fix and flip properties, and have gotten out of that given the fact that the only way to make money really is on the buy. And in today's overheated market, those discounts that one would need don't exist. So I just focus on my commercial business, putting together transactions as a investment sales guy and tenant rep, landlord rep, and doing business brokerage.
Awesome. Thank you, Doug, and appreciate you coming on as well. I'll see you tomorrow morning, right? Bright and early.
Yep, right and early. Yeah.
Bright and early. Doug and I are in a DBA group, which is Boca del Rey Association networking group. So yeah, it's a wonderful group. And I'll share a little bit more information later about it. So.
I'll go next. So I'm actually friends and partners with Rick. We're working together on some deals, and we're actually getting a deal under contract now. And he was like, "Hey man, I'm in a group. You should come join. Here's the link. It's at 7." I was like, "Oh, all right." I looked at the clock, 7:30. I was like, God damn, I'm already late. But yeah, man, I'm pretty young. I've always been interested in real estate. I've spent the past 2 years studying real estate in general and wholesaling. So I like to think I'm pretty good on the phone, on the calling, pitching myself and pitching deals. And yeah, right now I recently started, so I'm not too used to it. So like I said, me and Rick are getting something under contract now that should be a pretty nice deal, and I'm on a contract now for another virtual deal up in Baltimore. So not too bad, but for my future, I'm looking to do a lot of commercial stuff, multifamily apartments specifically, and I like to also do creative finance. So what I like to start doing is finding deals. So people that want full retail, that's one of the biggest problems us wholesalers face. You call up this person and they say, no, I want full retail. You're too low. What you can do is you can offer them a creative finance, and kind of pay the difference. And then you wholesale that creative finance deal to someone that actually does want to keep it as a rental. That's my idea of it. And yeah, that's just one of the strategies that I have to scale and grow my business. I really much do plan on investing the money back into the business and scaling it as far as I can, and then just reinvest all the money into properties and live off the properties and take my active income and just reinvest it into passive income. So that's me.
Awesome. Welcome to SoFlo Real Estate Investors, my man.
And
I'm glad you're working with Rick. He's a good man. Good man. I've known him for over a year now, and I can tell you from when I met him until now, he's a completely different. He has an investor mindset, 100 now. So I love it.
100%, man. 100%.
well, I guess I'll add on to that since you all already kind of introduced ourselves. So I'm Ricardo Perez. Everybody calls me Rick. I am with In the Moment Investings LLC. Currently, I am focusing on, as Joel said, in wholesaling down in South Florida. I'm also looking to get into buy and hold rentals, small multifamily to mid multifamily, this coming summer up in Springfield, Massachusetts, where I'll be moving to. And just a fun fact, Joel did mention that he's fairly young, and I think, Joel, if you don't mind me mentioning your age, I think it's a testament to the power of real estate that your age does not matter. Yoel is, if I'm not mistaken, I think you showed me your ID. Yoel is 17 years old, ladies and gentlemen. He is 17 years old. And it's just a beautiful thing seeing him and seeing someone of his age thinking the way that he is. I'm 35, so getting a little bit, past that, but it's just a pleasure to have met him. And I hope to do, business with everybody on here and see how I can add value to everybody's business and try to grow together. So it's my motivation here, guys. And Erica, it was a pleasure knowing you as well. So
Absolutely.
like always,
Absolutely. We'll definitely do a few deals together in the future. I already know.
definitely.
All right, Carolina, ladies first. I'm going to let you go.
Hi, I'm
For
Carolina.
that gentleman.
I'm a real estate agent, and I've been doing real estate for the last 6 years and a half. I do residential in, some commercial like strip centers and multifamilies. I haven't done so many multifamilies in the last 2 years because I've concentrated mostly on residential and on strip centers too. Yes, I have been selling properties in the entire state. So mostly Broward and Miami, but I have done even Tampa, Palm Beach, and Wikiwachi, different areas. So I'm open to questions.
Okay. It was a little bit hard to hear you. I'm so sorry. You think you can introduce yourself one more time? I'm sorry about that.
1 second.
Yeah.
Could this be better?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, much better.
Okay, perfect. Yes, I'm saying that I'm a real estate agent with Coldwell Banker. I've been doing real estate for the last 7 years. Before that, I used to work for the American government overseas. And I've been doing mostly residential, even though I've sold shopping centers. And now I've been selling properties not only in Broward and Miami, but also in other cities here in Florida, like Weeki Wachee, Palm Harbor, Tampa. And I have right now many properties in the state.
Perfect. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been maybe like a year since I've seen you.
It's been 145 properties.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Small flex. That was
Yeah.
small
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah. Well, again, thank you for coming on again. That's awesome. And really looking to hear more stories about what you did this past year. And again, thank you.
Yes, I've been working for investors.
Okay.
So buying and selling, buying and selling. There's one investor that I sold 8 properties
Okay.
in the last 3 years.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Okay. Is it just one person or is it a group? Do you know?
No, that is one person, actually a lady who lives in Texas.
Okay.
Nobody will wonder that.
Have you sold it to her as a realtor or as a wholesaler?
As a realtor.
Okay.
Yes, but I find the listings, and I most of the times I want to have them in the MLS because I'm in the record with Coldwell Banker, so I'm in top 25 in Southeast Florida. So I go there by the numbers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very cool.
Yes.
All
So
right.
that's it.
So best for last, huh?
No.
The man of the hour.
Wait a minute. I thought you were going last, but no. Hey guys and gals, nice to meet you. I'll be. I'm one of Eric's friends that's gonna move from San Francisco to Miami, so I'm hoping to bring the prices down as I move in. So,
So you're the one who destroyed the San Francisco market, huh?
that's right. I destroyed the San Francisco market. So yeah, after 32 years in the Bay Area, I thought it was time for a change, and I looked at Las Vegas, Dallas, Austin, and Miami, and thanks to our buddy Eric, we decided I'm gonna try South Florida. So May 15th, I hope to arrive and start doing some deals. A little bit about me. I had a W-2 in technology. What you see behind me was my office up until 2 years ago.
Was that which one? 555 California or the one next to it?
I was 575 California. I was
Okay.
across 555, the Chevron building. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So very close to the Salesforce Tower. I could see it from my office every day, but I saw it getting built while I was there. And but anyway, so started buying real estate actively about 11 years ago. I still buy. I still want to buy some more, but only when the numbers make sense. We're not going to go into deals that are not going to make sense. So, but mostly single family. Then about 2.5 years ago, started buying apartments, and just recently I was a partner in a small deal to buy hotels. So we pooled some investor capital together. Because we were looking for a discount, and because of COVID, there was a bit discount in hotels. So we picked up some hotels with a bunch of investors, and then about 2 months ago, again with a bunch of investors, bought a 160 unit apartment building in El Paso because Austin and Dallas are out of control. So we looked at El Paso and found something. What else? Hoping to work with Eric, and get into some deals, and hopefully we can all partner up or do some stuff together. But yeah, I'm also, I mean, I love real estate and I do it in the background, but my core focus is I'm building a software platform for real estate investors to track the performance of their real estate assets. So basically, Ryan, I know you mentioned you had a bunch of turnkeys. So I'd love to show you how you can track the actual performance of your turnkey properties in Florida and in Memphis. I do lend a lot of money to a rehabber in Memphis. He does some great work. I'm a private money lender as well, so I lend to him, and he's very active in Memphis. It's been a good market. So one day I'd love to show you, or all of you, like how to track your assets on this platform. It's free to use, but anyway. So anyway, a little bit. That's a little bit about me.
Well, but hey, Bobby, what was I missed the first part. You said the apartment complex in Texas. How were you a part of that? Were you a limited partner? Were you part of the managing group for the whole syndication? What was the details on that?
Yeah, it was me and two other people. I have a friend in Scottsdale who, I've known him for a while. So what I do is in the San Francisco Bay Area, for the past 11 years, just like Eric is running this meetup group, 11 years ago, I started running a meetup group in the San Francisco Bay Area. So out of that, it's now become, 5,000 members. And, so from there, I've been able to help raise capital and all that. But also not only the meetup group, but, luckily, San Francisco has been, a lot of people have made a lot of money in technology. So if you look around, you can throw a rock and hit a millionaire, a 20-some-year-old millionaire who happened to like programming when he was young or she was young, and got into companies like Twitch or Salesforce or what, you name it, Uber, LinkedIn, any one of those companies, Airbnb. So from that group of people, I was able to raise enough capital to buy the Minneapolis deals, the Texas deals, the Kansas City deals, and so on. So, but the plan is to, because of COVID, everything is now online. But we'll all partner up, and the pie is very big, so we'll all grow together in South Florida, and so yeah. But Ryan, to answer your question, that's how on the Texas deal, I was a GP. Most of the investors were either family office or doctors from Arizona, and some of the capital was from my group. So that's how we put it all together. Yeah.
Wow.
Very good.
Most of your capital coming from the West Coast?
So almost 98% of the money comes from the Bay Area, and yeah, and I plan to keep my meetup going. It's been an amazing resource and an amazing deal flow, a resource for deal flow, investors, education. So but yeah, and once the pandemic's, I think it's going to be about a year before people are okay with being packed up, like in a conference, not a conference room, but like in a big
big conference, yeah.
Big conference, yeah. So until then, we'll do Zoom, we'll do small meetings, but we'll do Zooms and, you know, stuff like that.
Well, Bobby, you and I should connect. I'll get your details from Eric.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Doug.
You also
You got $1 billion sitting around? I got a LA hotel for sale.
So my partners, so I have 2 second generation hotel operators. That's all they've done. They've done, they've got a couple of $100 million worth of hotel assets. And what happened during COVID is that the banks came to these 2 brothers, their brothers, and their father was the one that started into the hotel business and then passed it on to the kids, and now the kids are running with it. But the kids are extremely well educated. They know their numbers, they know their operations and all that. So those are the guys that I partnered with. Now the banks came to them and said, listen, 4 or actually about 10 of our hotels are in trouble and the owners want out. Do you want to take a look and take over some of these properties, because we know you're good operators, you'll make it happen. And we know how you run the business. We know your books because we've been your bankers for 25 plus years. So that's how we ended up with those hotels. But
That's great.
but you know, Doug, I don't know if we can pull off $1 billion, you know.
$1 billion, yeah. It's 972 keys. Come on, small potatoes.
You need what's that guy in? You need Steve Wynn for that. You know, hey Eric, can you hook up Doug with Steve Wynn?
Hey, I got you. I have him on Steve.
All right, good.
So
You got him on speed dial, huh?
I'd like to be able just to afford one of those rooms, apparently.
Yeah, they're pricey rooms.
Hey Siri, call Steve Wynn. No, nothing.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, again, thank you again, Bobby, for joining. We are, I'm extremely happy that you're taking your talents to South Beach. I for one, and I'm extremely happy, and I can't wait to work with you. Except for the red carpet and the crabs and everything, all the good setup that I had over there for you when you arrived. I think I did a pretty good job getting you over here. But anyway, but yeah. So again, my name is Eric Greenstein. I started SoFlo Real Estate Investors in 2019. At the time, I was in a completely different industry. I purchased my first rental, which was a short-term rental on the west coast of Florida in 2017, and then did Airbnb, VRBO, and managed it from two hours away. That was literally my first property, and I can tell you I learned a lot. If anything, I would suggest probably not to do that for your first property until you build some boots on the ground and actually have a team over there. But I learned the hard way. But I mean, it was actually a success in my eyes because of the value that I learned. I sold it in October, and then I actually started listening to Bigger Pockets literally after I bought the single family house on the west coast of Florida. And I was like multifamily. I'm like, how come I didn't know about this? I would have totally have bought in like a duplex, but fast forwarding to 2021 in January, I just purchased my first house hack duplex here in Fort Lauderdale. So I'm living in one of the unit and having a buddy of mine rent out the room next to me, and then the other unit is occupied as well. So right now it's covering my mortgage, and I'm Better Capital. I have everything set up to where I just log in and it literally shows my NOI. It shows everything that's transactions that I've done. So right now I'm like positive like $52 I consider that a win, because I am $52 positive. But anyways, I consider myself a creative thinker, especially in the real estate industry. At the moment, I'm also figuring a few things out about the area that I live in. Luckily it's near a marina. There's a lot of yachties around, and that's actually who I have in the other unit. So I've learned that this area could actually be a really good short term rental, or even just a good Airbnb. Um, but you know what, like I've learned, so what I'm going to do in order to just straight cash flow for a year or two is to do just regular tenants in there, see how that goes, and then we'll move forward. But I am looking to definitely partner with Bobby on buying another multifamily. I would say under 10 units at this time. So just let us know what you find. We're definitely looking forward to doing some short-term rentals of because of the area that we're looking at currently, especially this area. So like short-term rentals and Airbnb. So if you have a good feeling that a property is within that range, let us know. But yeah, so again, a little bit more about me. Um, right now I'm in the restoration business, so water, fire, mold restoration business. So it's really interesting because I'm literally seeing houses that have a lot of property damage, and now I know how to take care of that. Right, I know exactly what to do from point A to point Z, and that's pretty good knowledge, right? If you want to be in the real estate industry, because if you're looking at property, you can sniff mold right away, or I can tell what's damaged, what's not, and how much it will cost. I'm not sure if you know, but property damage or mold restoration, water damage is not cheap at all. So, that being said, with the knowledge that I have, I consider myself pretty valuable when it comes to that. And also with the construction side, we also have a GC license as well, so we do a lot of rebuilds and stuff. So, but yeah, so it's good. I'm within the real estate industry, field, because I deal with that every day, but a little differently. It's good because from what I was doing before to now, I understand real estate a lot more, and that's what makes me love real estate even more. And my like long-term goal at this time is to have 500 doors in 15 years. So I'm ready to join forces, ready to make that happen, whatever it takes. So let me know, and we'll get that going. But yeah, so again, I appreciate you guys joining. Hopefully we can also grow SoFlo Real Estate Investors to more members. I would really, really like to get different individuals. I don't even care if you're in real estate, if you want to learn real estate. If you're just an investor, that's awesome. If you're a doctor, nurse, anything, right? Just tell your friends, and have them come on, and so they can understand what we're doing, and understand the real estate industry a little bit more. So yeah, a little bit about me, and I appreciate you guys coming on. So that we all introduced each other, anyone have any like interesting experiences that happened to you, let's say in the past month?
Oh man. Okay. Rick, I'm gonna tell the story about what happened today. Oh man, okay. So we got this property under contract. So it's a 1,200 square foot house sitting on a quarter of an acre lot. So we're pretty much pitching this deal to new construction investors. So we're in the process of tying it up under contract. We sent it over to the attorney. Then they go, okay, we need a proof of funds letter. Rick is like, okay, I got you. So he knows how to get this proof of funds letter from this company called Capri Capital. And I guess he entered the numbers wrong, and it said, we are willing to give in the moment investing $0 and an additional $400,000 for closing costs. We both skipped right through that part. We didn't see it. We sent it to the attorney. The attorney reads it. And then he calls Capri Capital. They don't answer. Of course they're not gonna answer. And then he calls me. He's like, man, I'm reading the proof of funds letter and like this doesn't make sense. And I'm like, oh, shit. Oh no, what do I say? Man, I was a theater kid. I came up with some improv. I was like, nah, man, that's our private money lender. We're gonna use hard money to buy it. That was just one of our proof of funds letter. Our hard money lender is the one that's gonna be used to buy the land. And so on the day of closing, that's why you're gonna see 3 people because we're gonna assign the contract to him and he's the one that's gonna wire in the funds. So if you need another proof of funds letter, we can give that to you. And he was just like, oh man, whatever. He just skipped right through it, and I pulled the quick one, and I think I saved the deal. So yeah, so and then we were analyzing, man, and it's a banger deal. So we're looking, I don't want to jinx it, but we're looking at maybe we have under contract for 400. We're looking to sell it maybe at 420. So let's see what happens.
Nice. Awesome. Rick.
You got to be quick on your feet, huh, in this business.
Yes. They did an amazing job catching it. But like I explained to him, I'm glad, not that I'm glad this happened, but in real estate, I'm learning that you have to be quick on your feet and you have to think quickly. You're a problem solver. So in the meantime, I was able to reach out to another hard money guy that I deal with, and he was able to give me a hard money actual letter, a pre-approval that he's given me. So now we have that in our back pocket whenever they request proof of funds. We actually have an actual legitimate proof of funds letter that he'll back us up if need be. So out of that mistake, we actually gained something out of it. So I try to look at it as we gained something, and the kid got creative with it, and now we're on to the next step, and hopefully we go under contract this week, and we can start marketing the deal. And if anybody has any buyers that may be interested, like he said, it's in Alapata. It's an up and coming zone. The lot is 1,200 square foot with a single family, 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
No, the house is 1,200.
Yeah,
that's
yeah, 12,000 square foot lot with the possibility of building a duplex and maybe even more, depending on a partition that you may be able to ask from the city. And yeah, it's a beautiful property. If anybody needs pictures, let us know and we'll send it your way.
Yeah,
Rick, this is the one that you showed me, right?
Mm,
On Google Maps.
yes, this is the one on Google Maps that I kind of mentioned, that I showed the overhead view of it. Yes.
Yeah, man, so much buying activity in the area. Literally the house next to it was bought by an investor that's gonna tear that thing down, build something new. The house across was duplex, just bought, because man, you know how the market is right now. Anything that goes on, gone in seconds. And this thing that we got under contract too, it was so they had it under contract for the same price with someone else. Get this, the guy died. So the attorney just told them, oh, just let the contract expire. The contract expired the day before we went in for an appointment. So we were quick. We were the first ones on the scene. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it's luck, but a little bit of luck. So yeah.
It's not luck, man. It's all about timing. Not luck. Very interesting. Ryan, you said that you invested in Tennessee, right? Memphis, Tennessee, you said?
Yeah, I did.
How many units or doors did you pick up?
I did 4.
4.
Yeah. It was probably about kind of started just bigger pockets. listening to a little bit of their advertisements, going on the forums, seeing who posts. Kind of one of the marketing techniques is that if anybody brings up real estate, you'll see the people that respond, and then in their footer, a lot of turnkey providers or agents would respond. You can see, so you can see anybody Cleveland, Columbus, Ohio, just listening to different podcasts. I kind of started with some of the turnkey marketers, Narada Real Estate. I was listening to Marco's podcast, Real Wealth Network, Kathy Fedke. She does like a podcast on the monthly update. So kind of started in that realm. Another one was on the podcast for Bigger Pockets was Memphis Invest, which became our REI Nation, I think. And they've done, so I called them first to kind of get an idea. And then of course, Googled and looked up stuff on the forums and found like, yeah, they're a phenomenal company and you'll make 2%. It was really like, I found a post, the guy's like, I bought 2 properties from them and they are a phenomenal company. Like everything is taken care of. It is the easy investment that I have. And I make $70 a month. And it's just because they provide everything. So I was like, yeah, not for me. I mean, they've got like 6,000 properties under management in Memphis and 5 other cities. So I started breaking it down, trying to figure out where. Memphis has like 6 pretty well established turnkey providers, and kind of called one of them. Great, looked like they had great reviews on there, but they just kind of put you on a list, and they might call you in 9 months when you're up on the list to buy one of their properties. So I'm like, well, that's not fast enough. Basically got an appointment with 3 of them in July last year, went up there, met with one each day. One kind of stood out of the others, and just kind of watched their website. And I've been in 3 of the 4 that I purchased. There's one I kind of took a little bit more of it was a little bit of step out, just going off pictures and reputation and working with them. Everything I went through kind of leaned towards me. So when an appraisal came in low, they just adjusted the price down. But basically Memphis is, I bought at appraisal value. Cheapest property was $73,000. Most expensive was $130,000. All the rents are about the 1% rule. Taxes and insurance are just super cheap, not compared to South Florida. So the numbers work. And it's kind of what my goal is cash flow. Last one closed in December. So I've had one since October. The first one was October, and then we closed over those 3 months. And yeah, inventory dried up like everywhere else. So all the turnkey providers in Memphis, because I don't mind. I'm trying to stick with the one that I work with now because I've already got properties with them. But the other ones, I still watch their buy lists or what they have coming. But I'm trying to stay focused on the one that I've currently worked with. But a lot of them, they're putting out there, hey, we've got 50 properties that we've purchased in the rehab process. They got to get tenants out. And they're what Bigger Pockets would call or what I would term as a true turnkey provider, where they are acquiring the property, they are renovating it, and then they manage it all in-house. It's not a piecemeal where they do one thing and are trying to connect you with the other pieces. They are doing it all in one kind of situation. So it's worked out from 4 months experience. No complaints yet. 2 tenants that like to pay late, 2 of them that pay on time. But up to this point, everybody's paid their rent, and this month everybody's paid up the earliest possible they could. Yeah, so that's kind of my experience with that so far.
Awesome. Did you put any late fees on those, on the ones that paid late?
So yeah, well, it's just since it's with the property manager,
Yeah.
And that particular property manager, they keep the late fees.
Got it.
So the way basically when they collect the rent, I've been able to get all of that. But any late fees, Memphis, the way it was explained to me, the market there is very fee based. People do, for some reason, just do not have a problem paying fees. One of the providers I met with said that they will actually have people, there's a $10 fee for them to come into the office and pay the rent versus going across the street and buying a money order for 59 cents. They would rather pay the $10. And they're totally upfront. They give them options, but they're like, no, I'll just pay the $10. Like they said, it's the oddest thing. They don't know, but so it's the same kind of thing. They've based a lot of the market there on fees. And just people are just used to, I don't know, call them late fees, call them whatever fee you want, but that's how a lot of people, the companies can stay in business, is just, and I'm getting my rent. I'm happy with that. I have seen the forum posts on Bigger Pockets about, you should get your late fees. Well, I think just every market's different when it comes to that. And I pay 8%. Like in some markets, you might pay 12 and, oh yeah, you get your late fees too. Well, you're eating it in the 4%, so there's a give and take everywhere.
So you say you pay 8%?
Yeah. And a lot of the providers, they might charge 10%, but if you buy the property within their turnkey operation, it's usually 2% less, so 8%. And I found that between that and Little Rock, I visited there to see how that market worked. But right now, the 4 in Memphis, keeping my eye out for more. Yeah, I'm looking to try to diversify a little bit, be in the BRRRR process. You guys wholesaling. I'm probably going to be priced out in the local market, but in like a Memphis market, if I was living in that area, I could probably be working on about 2 properties at a time, just gaining experience. But here, I need to be in at minimum 200 cash and, have the money for a reno, all said and done 300. And then, but I'd like to be buy and hold. I'm looking for cash up to a certain dollar amount for my cash flow. And then once I can transition a little more to appreciation.
So you're looking for buy and holds right now, and you'd be cool. Obviously local, like you said local. You would.
Yeah, I am looking like, so I always use my local rental as a baseline, or at least from my experience. I've had it for 7 years. It just appraised at 330. Market rent's 1,800.
Yeah, that's
so
pretty tough.
Yeah. Some of my realtor friends, I know my realtor friend who just sold a duplex in Pinecrest, sold for $785 and the rents were $4,000. So, the buy and hold doesn't work here. So it's one of the reasons why too, I joined Steve's group. I kind of feel the Bigger Pockets venue, it's so full of information. It's hard to consolidate down to try to figure out maybe first a market. I'm still kind of all over the place. I'm still trying to figure out, do I stick with syndications, being a limited partner, just a variety of things. And I'm just still trying to do stuff along the way and learning, but where do I want to become an expert in?
Sure.
To be good at.
Yeah. And Ryan, I feel your sentiments, because that's why, and me looking into the buy and hold market down here, I see exactly what you're saying. From the ones that do it and that are able to be successful, they're being very creative with it. Like a lot of guys that I know, I have one particular buddy of mine, and Eric knows him, Orlin. He just does a lot of creative stuff. He'll get a single, split into a duplex, put a RV in the back, a trailer. You have to be creative down here to make that cash flow. But I completely hear what you're saying, and that's why, like, you're right. To me, this is more of a flipping market more than a buy and hold for the most part. And like you said, the numbers, if you're going to be buying buy and hold, like I use my home as a baseline. I got a 224,000, 220,000 loan on my home right now. Between PITI, I pay 1,640. The average rent for my home in the area here is about 1,800. If you add up for vacancy, capex, maintenance, you're not cash flowing at all for the most part. So it is pretty tough. But yeah, I hear exactly what you're saying.
And Doug in the beginning summed it up, like the money's in the buy. And I've been
Yeah.
hearing that you heard from Robert Kiyosaki, Dave Ramsey, Clark Howard, all the big guys that I've listened to over the years. You know, I was had a mindset of, again, I'll call it the Ramsey mindset of pay off your debt, things like that. And so I finally got to a point where I was like, I'm financially stable. Like, let's buy properties. But,
Yeah.
and I kept hearing, oh no, you need to buy it at a discount of 60%, you know, at 60% on the dollar. And I'm like, where are we finding these deals? Now, I wasn't going out looking, you know, just being naive about it, but people were saying that they're there. You just need to look. Okay, well, I started looking basically end of 2019. And of course, things just went up, world went crazy. And, you know, I just need to build the experience to start finding those things. Started learning about wholesalers, got on some lists, but even the wholesaler lists that I get down here are like, nope, can't do it. Like, and it's in some of the bad neighborhoods that I'm probably more of a C plus B kind of guy. But trying to get the stuff at the buy, my experience level isn't there yet. So I'm kind of on the boat with Doug, you know, I'm hoping there's other markets that is still available. I just went with Memphis because taxes and insurance. I mean, one of my properties, the taxes are $32 a month. I'm sure they'll go up to maybe 50. It just got reassessed because of my purchase, but at 50 and 56 for insurance, $100 a month for taxes and insurance, I'm like, even if I apply appraisal value, I have a problem with it. I'm still cash flowing, and that's after saving the 12% for vacancy and maintenance for the future.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
$50 a month. You better hope there's not a fire, because they probably don't have a fire truck. They probably have a horse and buggy with a. And God forbid you should have kids and want to send them to school, because there's probably no schools.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's true. Definitely. Yeah.
Wow.
No, yeah.
Yeah, man. But real estate, listen, I look up to two of my favorite real estate people are Manny Koshman and Grant Cardone. Real estate works in cycles. You know, right now we're in a seller's market. Like, we are in no position to be buying. You know, at least on the residential side of it. Because I know commercial is a different story. So it works in cycles. Eventually, the market is going to correct itself. You know, it is going to pop. The bubble is going to pop. And it'll be the start of a cycle again, where you buy, you hold, and then you sell at the top. Because right now, everyone that has rental properties that they bought 10 years ago, they're on their high horse. You know, they're jumping up and down. They're like, oh, it's almost time to sell. Because they know that if they put it out there, it's gone like that. There are people, I read an article the other day of a guy that paid $1 million above asking price the other day for a property. I can't remember what state it was. It was probably California.
That was my neighborhood, about
Of
course it was.
25 minutes from where I live.
Of course it
But
was.
yeah.
$1 million. That's the kind of market we're in right now. So it's not buyer's market, especially for us that you want to do the burr where you need to get it at 70% equity. And, you know, the deals are out there. They are. It's just not right now. You know, it's probably going to be another 6 months.
Yeah, I agree to you on some points. I believe it's all about your strategy, right? Like what your strategy is and what your goals are is basically what you're going to be doing with the property, right? If you're going to go and buy a property for $550,000, then it's like a duplex and like, well, let me go back. If you buy a duplex at $750,000 in Fort Lauderdale in like a decent area, you know, and you do Airbnbs and you can get about, you know, 500, 600 a week, you know, depending on where it is. I mean, you know, it all depends. All depends on your strategy. So I mean, again, it's I agree, you know, to a certain point, but you, like you said, you can still find deals. Definitely still find deals. I got lucky on mine. Not lucky. Sorry, just really good timing. Um, you know, appraisal came through, was really low because there was only one duplex in my neighborhood that went on the market and sold for 375. Mine was at 410. That was where I was at, and I got it down to 390. But I knew what I was doing with it. I was living in it, house hacking in it, so I can literally live in it, enjoy it, and pay my mortgage off. Right. So I didn't really, you know, like that didn't really stop me. Like the market didn't stop me. So again, it's all about your strategy. So I totally agree with you, but strategy is key.
Definitely.
And I don't know, again, I try to think of things real simple. I kind of was a few years into the Ramsey program, but when I moved here in 2007, you know, I worked at my facility I work in is in Doral, and I mean, condos were going, 1-bedroom condos were 400,000 or 500,000. And I kind of thought at that time at my income level, I'm like, man, if prices are like this, even when I start making money, I'm never going to buy a property because I just don't see the value in it. And I'm like, it's going to be, I have to wait for the deal to come when you know, and of course I got here in 2007, 2008, 9, you know, and then 9 came and I'm like, holy crap, everything's on sale, like Dave said. And went out and got stuff, but I just didn't, you know, income, bought a place, rented out the rooms, you know, did the house hack before it was called that, and but just took it slow and kind of followed the Ramsey method. So I agree, Eric. It's about creating the systems that can make stuff happen and find the stuff. Need the knowledge, the patience, the willingness. I mean, Ricky, you were talking about door knocking today, or, you know, you guys making cold calls. Never been my world, you know, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I had a guy, the Broward Real Estate Association, I even called them, talked to them, and they wanted to sell me a $20,000 how to wholesale program. And I'm like, and honestly, do you know, and the thing about that, I was like, wait, the way that was all set up, I'm like, you're basically charging me 20 grand to become, I don't know, your minion, to make cold calls, go door knocking, and they can't take care of all the hard stuff. You know, they're going to take care of the money. They've got the buyers list. They've got all of this kind of stuff, but it's like, we're going to teach you how to do all the hard stuff. So basically they're just a processing center with using other people and making money off those people. And they have a lot of deals that do go through, and you could learn. I had a coworker that did buy in, but you know, that's not where I'm at in life right now, where I want to be doing that. You know, so I'm looking for some other things, but man, one up to you on that though, because I know the hassle dealing with people, you know, finding their problems, you know, still would be willing, but man, I know that's tough too.
Man, you in this business, in the wholesale business, you get cussed out every other person. I got cussed out by the attorney today, man. Oh, man. It's
But-
you learn to deal with it in the business.
Yeah.
And I know you don't want to I don't know if you want to wholesale yourself, but to do the buy and hold rentals, or if you're looking to flip, consider working with wholesalers, man. You said that you were on some people's list, but you just you aren't going to be able to pay what some of these wholesalers are asking because it's such a hot market. Have you considered using private money lenders or hard money to do BRRRR?
I know about it, but again, I still probably got a little bit of my Dave Ramsey in my ways where I want to use my own capital. And I know where my limits are.
Yeah.
You know, like I said before, 2019 came, I was financially stable, and I have some capital to use, but I don't want to take on more debt. It'll probably freak me out until I can change my mindset a little bit and have more experience. You know, I want to limit my risk exposure before I just jump in. And I know you hear the success stories, but for every one success story, there's 10 people not telling you the story too.
Yeah, that's correct. You're right. You know, I'm one to believe that, there's deals in every market, and a deal's not found, it's created, I think sometimes. And it's also depending on the circumstances. Like I have a neighbor of mine and I think especially right now, these deals that are going to be created, they're going to be created through relationships and through time. And specifically, I got one right now where I have a neighbor that he has a home. It's a single family, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,600 square foot home. ARV on it right now, it's around 360, 370 to be conservative with it. And he's looking to get rid of it. I told him, I'll pick it up. Let's go. I signed a contract. I brought it to his house, and he's willing to take 180 for it. And so you can see the spread on that one. Unfortunately, he has a situation with his partner that's living with him. And, while dueling wholesaling, you start to see the real life itself and what people are going through and trying to find their pain points and trying to understand and solve their problems. So, if that deal comes through, I'll definitely get in contact with you. But they're out there. You just got to keep you just got to keep pounding. You got to keep, and like you said, it's not a lot of people door knock. Not a lot of people do that, but I think I'm laying a seed right now. So when the market does correct itself or whatever, I have the upper hand, and I could build these relationship with these buyers and these sellers, and try to see what we do at that point. But yeah.
Definitely.
Nice. So it's 8:31. It's your guys' decision if you want to keep going or not. But it's up to you. Everyone cool going, or you want to keep going, or what do you want to do?
I have one question. It's just been on my head. I have a question for Bobby. How many rental doors do you have?
Okay, I own several personally, and then I own many in partnerships. So personally, less than 10. And so I have straight up single family rentals. I have private money loans, which is a bulk of my income.
Yeah.
So, as Ricky was talking about using private money, I do have people in Memphis, in Pittsburgh, in Cleveland, in San Antonio, in Bay Area that I've established relationships with, and they come and they borrow money and they do their flips, and I make it super easy for them.
So you collect interest whenever they pay you back.
Yeah, well, they pay me a monthly interest payment, so but these guys are established, right? They're not, they're not the ones that have, $3,000 in their checking account. They're successful flippers. They run a crew. They personally own assets, but they prefer to use private money, right? It just gives them more leverage, but they're sophisticated, and they're, one of them, let me think, 2 of them are GCs, others are, experienced rehabbers. Okay, so to answer your question, I also I'm a partner in a fund. I'm a small partner, but that fund owns 1,250 doors, but I'm a partner in that fund. So I'm like the property, I'm a partner in the property management company of that fund, but that fund owns 1,250 doors, Southeast, Midwest, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana. And, I'm part of that. And then I'm also part of a small, I'm again, small equity holder in a fund that caters to Section 8 properties. That's all we like to buy. Section 8 give us the worst condition, the worst properties in the worst neighborhoods. We love them, or I don't love them. My team members love them. So I have my hands in a lot of pies, you know. So I got burned. I love wholesaling. I love the concept of wholesaling. One of the best wholesaling coaches is a friend of mine. I just got burned. There's a lot of unethical wholesalers as well.
Definitely.
And in Huntsville and in Indianapolis, you know, they just saw me as a transaction, right? They just saw me. They didn't realize that I was going to be able to buy 100 properties from them in whether it was Indianapolis or Huntsville. You know, Ryan, you were talking about turnkey properties. So I know Kent Clothier. Kent Clothier and I we were invited to a dinner in San Francisco where we had there was a real estate conference, and at the end of the conference, some of the speakers went out and grabbed dinner, and then Kent Clothier had like a few shots of tequila by late there, so he started spilling his guts about his business, right? You know, it was like 6 of us around the table, and I'm drinking beer, you know, other guys are drinking whiskey, other guys are drinking, you know, tequila and all that. So he started telling me that, hey, if I don't make 27.5 thousand on a turnkey property, he won't sell it for below a profit of $27.5 thousand. That was his magic number. You know, and this was back when it was still Memphis Invest. Chris Clothier and Ken Clothier. And so I'm like, hey, that's great, you know. And then my Meetup members would come to me and say, hey, we're thinking of buying from Memphis Invest, or we're thinking about buying from Kathy. By the way, they're all cut out from the same cloth. So I'm like, you know what, you guys are getting ripped off. I buy these properties in Cleveland and Memphis and St. Louis and Kansas City for $20,000-$30,000. You know, there's no way you're going to be, you know, you're paying 75, 80,000, 90,000. I'm like, that's crazy. So I actually did start a turnkey company. It's called betterturnkey.com. It's still in operation, but what we were doing, we went to Huntsville, Alabama, because we did our research and we found that, hey, the up and coming city is Huntsville. You know, migration and job growth, and people were educated, all that good stuff. Unlike the rest of Alabama. And yeah, so we started doing deals. You know, we were selling, and here was our philosophy. We were buying them, we were rehabbing them with our own money, and then we were charging $4,000 to the end buyer. That was our markup. Instead of 27.5, ours was 4,000, and we were selling them like hotcakes. Then a couple of things happened. The wholesalers started to rip us off. Like if they were making 5 to 10 grand on a wholesale, they got greedy and they started charging like 20, 30 grand on the wholesale. And then the other thing that happened was our air HVAC, our appliances started getting ripped off. So we're like, you know what, let's cut our losses and move on. So anyway, that's what turned me off to wholesalers. Although, like you guys, you know, Ricky, Yoel, and, you know, I will gladly buy from you guys any day. But, and something similar happened in Indianapolis, right? So I just don't buy from wholesalers anymore. So that's that. But I will, if they want to, you know, borrow money because they want to do some wholesalers do fix and flips, and I'll lend money to them all day long. So
Yeah, I get that part, that wholesalers want to do fix and flip, because sometimes we come across a deal and it's like, we can go in here, fix it ourselves, and we'll make triple, you know? So that's, but yeah, man, and that's unfortunate that you had to, be
Yeah.
burnt by.
But,
So
but you know, you'll like,
Rick, the
like,
first thing Rick told me is like, man, I just don't want to have a bad name out there. And I told him the same thing. I was like, we need to keep our reputation clean, because eventually when we do scale, our name is going to go around the real estate business. Our name is going to go around Miami. And we want our name to be clean. We want our name to be, yes, buy from these guys. They have morals, they have ethics. They, they respect their buyers. They don't just see them as cash. They see them as a relationship, as a business partner. And that's unfortunate that you've been ripped off like that.
yeah. I think what you have to do is you have to say, at the end of the day, my buyer needs to make money. Okay, not only do you have to make money, but your buyer has to make money. Because if he's making money, the next time you have a deal, boom, he's picking it up, because he knows, hey, I can trust Ricky, I can trust Yoel. And we have those types of wholesalers, like in South Carolina and in Ohio. We buy from wholesalers through one of my funds, and those wholesalers, they have a locked-in buyer, right? So yeah, it just they're just, hey, I'll do my marketing, I'll bring you the deal, I'll give you the numbers, and then you decide, and by that time, the wholesaler knows what we are looking for. So they're like, hey, I got this property in Greenville, South Carolina, or in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and that's how we buy from those guys.
Yeah.
But the only advice, look, I totally agree with you that your reputation is going to be super important, and I know you guys, Eric speaks very highly of you. So I'm not putting you guys in that same bucket, but I'm telling you what happened to me so that you can build that relationship, and don't look at it as a transaction, but that I'm going to sell to Eric or Ryan or Bobby multiple times a year.
Yeah.
And they're going to make my life easier.
It's okay to make less cash in the moment, but then have that multiple business in the future.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. That applies to a lot of things, my friend. A lot. So absolutely love it.
Yeah. And I do that for my borrowers. I make it super simple. Other lenders have all kinds of doc fees and late penalty fees, and they get them on the low interest rate, but they make it up in all kinds of fees. I've been keeping it super simple: 2 points and 10%, or 2 points and 12%, depending on the LTV. No drama, no nothing, and they know it. They know my numbers. They don't even question it. And but I am working on scaling up my private money lending business. When I come down there, I'll show it to you guys. But yeah, would love to. You'll find us a 4-plex or a 10-plex, or we're in it, brother. We'll be waiting.
Yeah. I'll take the challenge.
All right.
Yeah, Bobby, I kind of felt the same, which is one of the reasons why, like, I didn't really research it a whole lot, so I'm very vague on my impression. But like when it comes to like the private or hard money lenders, and I would read the details, and I'm like, points, fees, this, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with that drama, And if and I'm good with my books, so it's not like I'm gonna have a late fee or anything like that. But just I don't know. Again, I come from that mindset of interest is bad. And that all of a sudden I'd rather just take that risk myself. I don't mind paying interest, but like even points, like I cringe still, but I just paid points on my properties in Memphis because I could get my interest rate so low. And when I ran the numbers, it basically got me overall each property 1% more a month in cash flow because I paid the points. It was only, I got educated a little. and I've even read more about it over the last few months. Like, should I not have? Could I use that money for another property? You know, all of those things. But either way, learning experience. But yeah, I'm glad I could relate with the closure story that you gave, because yeah, I couldn't believe it when I'm like, who thinks this makes sense? But some people just want the easy.
Some
the
people
easy
want
route.
it easy. And a lot of people like from New York and Boston and Bay Area, Seattle, to them, $90,000 is not a lot of money, but they don't understand that the ROI is not there. Like you said, 2%, like give me a break, but that's how Memphis Invest and Kathy Fetke, that's how they built their business, because they knew a lot of these were, they sold them a dream. And by the way, if they bought, I'm talking about 5 years ago. Yeah, 5 years ago. So if they bought it, the properties have appreciated, right? So if they bought it in Memphis, they bought it in Dallas or whatever market, of course, the market has forgiven everybody.
Yeah.
But you guys are doing the right thing. Like I'm really proud of you're like 17, man. I didn't even know. Shoot, I couldn't barely tie my shoelaces at
17
17.
closing deals, man. I'm just I'm very, very motivated. I just plan on saving up all the money, reinvesting it in the business, scaling. And my goal is I want to be the first millionaire in my family, hopefully before I turn 30. And I want to, before I turn 50, my plan is to have about 2,500 doors. And like I said, Grant Cardone is one of my inspirations, and cash flow is king. So yeah, that's my plan. And I want to do that through commercial, apartments, apartment complexes. And I plan on starting a fund, so because I think that's a great vehicle to invest with.
Absolutely. And Ryan, look, keep your day job. You got a wonderful day job. I'm sure you're going to have a nice pension and all, and benefits. And so keep that day job, but keep accumulating real estate. Like you're doing a very conservative, safe Dave Ramsey approach. Man, I can't fault you for any of that. Like that's.
I'm trying to break out of it a little bit. I got 7 years before I'm my first eligibility. I'll be 52, and but I want to scale up for whatever the other half of the pension that won't be there. My ultimate goal is 10,000 a month in passive. I'm kind of 1/4 on the there right now, so I've got 7 years to figure out how. And I'd like to. My plan at the moment, which is adjustable, is Burr, and like I said, I've set up for my own capital, and then if I buy a couple more turnkeys, still, but where I met Eric, I'm actually meeting with Rosenberg Steve tomorrow for like a trial coaching session.
Same here.
Oh, you're meeting with him tomorrow? What time's your appointment?
4.
I'm at 11.
Oh, okay.
Is your first one?
Yeah. It's my first one. Yeah, I know he's probably gonna kick my ass, but it's all good.
No, yeah, I'm game. I mean,
yeah, I'm game too.
I mean, everybody talks about that in the podcast, and I've not come across like COVID was an issue, sure, but as soon as I was ready to go out and find meetups, canceled. And so just the natural way of doing it, so they're like, either you find a mentor or you pay for one. And I'm kind of leaning on the pay for one at this point, because I need to pick up the process.
And Ryan, also look into creative finance. It's another strategy to acquire real estate, and
Sure.
it kind of also removes that I don't want to take on too much debt. Look into subject twos.
Yeah.
It's really, you're taking over the other person's debt. and you're also building equity, and it doesn't require much, little to no, like upfront. So definitely look into that. It's a really good way to acquire a lot of properties.
Yeah, I'm aware of those. It's just doing the work to find the people willing to do that. And I don't have a system set up to come across those deals, because those people aren't just out advertising on the MLS.
Of course not.
You know, they're the ones you're doing the work to find.
These are
And-
tax delinquents. They're probate. They're
yeah,
foreclosures, and usually pre-foreclosures, man. The problem with pre-foreclosures is they never take action on it till like a week before auction. So it's tough, but it's worth it, you know.
so
Awesome.
Eric, how long have you been a part of the Steve's group?
Since August.
Oh, so for a while.
Yeah. I can tell you, I'm a completely different person from then to now. It's honestly, it's all about the mindset and what you can. And he preaches that all the time, and it's so true. It's just about putting, you're writing down your goals, writing down what you want to achieve, and as you write them down, I mean, it's imprinted in your head. As long as just being just positive. I've always had like I actually, to be honest with you, I've always wanted to, I guess it's kind of weird saying wanted to be an entrepreneur, right? Ever since I was like, in college, not college, in high school. I'm just always like would be like, hey, I just want to like stay home and just flip cars, instead of going to college, but my father, who actually didn't have a college background, but worked so hard to put his 3 boys into college, was like, no, you're definitely going to college. I'm like, all right, okay. Which wasn't bad. I don't regret it. Learned a lot. Well, not really, but learn a little bit. But I can tell you though, the experiences was very fun. But yeah, I've always had that entrepreneurship like mindset. I've wanted, I tried to create a few websites back in the day. I actually gathered up a team, developed like a website, a few of them, and just nothing really ever happened. But, I've always, yeah, like I said, I've always had that, but I just needed something to kind of push myself to the next level. And I knew real estate was it. Like I said before this, I didn't even listen to the Bigger Pockets or anything when I bought that single family home and did Airbnb. I just did it because I knew of it. And, then I started listening to Bigger Pockets and getting into the community and really just gaining and building my knowledge on real estate investing. So, yeah, I mean, but anyways, to answer your question, yeah, from August to now, I've been a completely different person. Everyone that I know is like, who are you? But yeah, I mean, it's great. It's great. Luckily I got in, at a good time. It was a big group, but every week it was just him giving his own knowledge, for free, which is amazing. So totally appreciate that. But yeah, man. When did you join?
It's only been 3 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've been on the last 3 Mondays, and yeah, then the academy, I'm on that website, and there's no videos on there yet. I guess he's recording them all right now. I tried, because I was prepping for the call for tomorrow, and I jumped on there yesterday, and I was like, he might ask me something on there, and I don't want to be like, hey, did you check out the site and anything like that? So I'll talk to him about that tomorrow to kind of see what am I doing wrong, or if anything, I don't know. But now I'm trying to narrow my education instead of being like this, trying to hone in on like one person, because I mean, I've